All right, what's up, everybody? Gym Therapy Inc. Excited to be back. It's been like a year since we've done this. I decided I was going to try harder this time around whenever we do this because last time I was afraid to try hard because I didn't want people to see me try hard and then fail. So like now I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to try hard this time. So Justin Mingle, right? Are you excited, Scoob?
I'm totally excited.
Yeah,
100%.
Good. John Lanzendorfer, going to be my guest today. Scoob. Yeah, call him Scoob.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
I've been called that my whole life.
How'd you get it?
My mom and dad gave it to me. It's kind of a funny story. It's just a real. I'll leave that for another time. But
Okay.
it's kind of a long story. But it was given to me when I was a little baby. My dad gave it to me because he's kind of an outcast, plays his own trail, kind of.
I like that kind of
hippie kind of dude. That kind of explains it a little bit. And
About,
yeah. So
all right,
I've been called that my whole life.
Good. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be the first one we do, and we're going to do more later as time goes because your message is pretty cool.
I appreciate that. I'd be glad to do more of them too. I love getting the message out there. If it helps even one person, that's freaking awesome to me.
Yeah, and today we're going to cover medical PTSD, which is it's something I think everybody has an experience with, whether they struggle with it or not, or they know somebody with it. And to you, what is medical PTSD?
I mean, to me, it was just, I didn't know what that was at all until I was a corrections officer, so I had PTSD and seeing some wild, crazy shit in that job.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, medical wise, I raced pro motocross and I never I had so many surgeries, I had 7 surgeries on this leg, 3 on this leg, broke both shoulders, both arms. And I just went through surgeries and all kinds of shit and never freaking even let it bother me. But this storm happened when I turned about 50 and I was in a massive skiing accident, it'll be 2 years this November. And I went through crazy stuff I know we're going to get into.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And anyhow, this gave me this medical then PTSD, where just anything that I feel in my body for a long time, and I still fight with this, brings on this crazy anxiety, and it brings on this crazy scared thing that comes over my body that I think and usually blow way out of proportion. That's actually way lighter than what I really think it is.
Okay. All right. Also, too, you can see the bear, Mazzy Bear, Lazo Stein, Chicken Little, Chicky Choo Choo. She's going to be pain in the ass this whole time, I would imagine. We also have Jenna in the background. She's going to do all of our producing for these things now, so I'm really excited. Are you excited, Jenna? You glad to be here?
I'm excited to be here. Excited to be back.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. She recorded with us one other time, and I think you sat with me and waited for permission to talk the whole time, when the whole time I just wanted you to be yourself and like just open up and talk. So
I think I'm better on this.
You're better on that side. You
got to do an interview.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You're welcome to chime in though at any time. So please, thank you. We have a coat drive coming up January 10th. You can drop off coats, slightly used, brand new, anything like that. Alva Jean Patterson just lost her daughter's boyfriend in the entire house in a house fire. So, that was out in Dilltown, Pennsylvania. So we're going to try to get her some stuff. I'll keep you guys updated with that as time goes. I don't know her well, but I know her name and I know who she is. And I think we should help.
Prayers for that.
Yeah, absolutely. They lost their 12-year-old daughter, and the house burnt, and she couldn't find them. The daughter's boyfriend was staying there that night too. He was 14. He passed also. It's pretty.
That's terrible.
It is. They met me at Yamaha, Evansburg Yamaha is where I work. They met me up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I gave them some coats, and they told me their story a little bit. It's pretty tragic.
Yeah.
And speaking of Evansburg Yamaha, that's how you and I met. Your boy works with me, great kid. That's how you and I met, was through that place. Right now we have a 2021 X2 850 R spec, 10 grand. It's 1,500 miles on it. It's the nicest. It's going to be the cleanest trade around. I'm not moving on price because I had to stretch to put that deal together with that guy. And 10.8 out the door for a Pennsylvania resident, and it's the nicest, cleanest used machine in the area. So if anybody's looking,
that's awesome.
Now that we got through that shit, let's just start from the beginning. Tell us about the incident.
So the incident was this November will be 2 years. I was skiing. I was skied all my life. I was a ski instructor. I've been doing it since I've been a little kid. And I was coming down. I had to tell this part because it's kind of funny. There was a running joke because the dude that took me out, his last name was Lego. And so the running joke is Lego made my Lego novel. So basically, I mean, you can't see it, but I lift up. I have drop foot and I'm still paralyzed on the top of my foot from this accident. It's a crazy kind of long story, but at Blue Knob. I was with my boys having kind of an off day. I kept saying to him, I'm having an off day. I don't feel so it's just balance and just, you have them off days,
Yeah.
Me and him were hauling the mail coming around this turn. If you know Blue Knob, there's right near the triple chair. It kind of comes down to run out. It tightens up. It's called run out. And we were going to run out towards the chairlift, and he was one step in front of me. And I just thought, as soon as I thought, don't turn, dude, he turned. And just to kind of come back over, because he was close to the edge there. Yeah. And when he turned, I knew it was coming because I raced pro motocross as well. So my brain thinks really quick. And I was like, this ended up being a mistake. I pushed him because I knew he was coming. And I just thought he'd roll this way and wreck. And I'd laugh, like keep skiing back, give him the finger and laugh at him and stuff. And, but what happened was, I did lose my balance. And when he went down this way, he had his board sharpened the day before at Spokes and Skis, just the day before. He was on a snowboard, I was on skis. Okay. And that brought his board. So when I pushed him, it brought his board up this way. I lost balance, fell onto the board, and just slid down his board. It happened so quick. Yeah. And tumbled off the end. And I instantly said to him, like, I can't feel my foot. Like, I noticed right away, okay, I'm all right, but I can't feel my foot.
Like, no pain, no sensations.
Just, I couldn't feel my foot at all. Yeah, no sensations at all. But I raced pro motocross and broke this leg severely bad. Yeah, like I destroyed this leg.
Bad for you.
Yeah, been here before. So I was like, I broke the tib fib of the femur. Yeah. And I was like, come help. I said, Lego, hey, Lego, come help pick me up. And he picked me up, and I thought when he lets go, I'll know right away, oh my God, it's my tib fib. Yeah. It's my femur. And I figured it probably hit a nerve, and I was making it numb. Well, he did that, and when he let me go, I was perfectly fine. Like I stood there, like no problem. Like, dude, something's weird going on. And we noticed a slice in my pants, and we'd seen like two drops of blood, not pieces, drops of blood going, and we could see the lift. We were really close to the lift. I said, I'm just going to get to the lift. I can ski, even though I can't feel my foot. Yeah. I can ski on one ski. I've done it before. So I just skied down to the lift. Got on the lift, was on the way up, and my buddy Matt.
So hold on, you went back down and then decided I'm going to keep skiing?
No. Oh, I could see the lift, and we were like, I was like, I just got to get to the lift to get up top. Safety, yeah. My boy was crazy. As my boy was actually working that day. He at the time was working at Blue Knob as where he gave out skis and boots. Okay. Rental shop. Yeah. And so we got on the lift, and my buddy Matt, we were this close, like the lift's really, and he's like, let me look in there. And when he looked in, the look on his face, like I'm sitting beside him, he was like, dude, his jaw just dropped. And I was like, what? And he's like, it's bad. It's not good at all. And so we were like coming up, and there's a mid station, and I told the guy in mid station, I said, dude, do not stop this chair. Get me to the top. Like I haven't. And so they got me to the top. I mean, rushed me in. Like there was hardly any medical there at Blue Knob. There was only one guy who really knew what he was doing. Stripped me down real quick. Brady, my son, watches this whole thing, which gave him some PTSD. Absolutely. Anyhow, they're at Blue Knob. They cut my pants off, and they dumped my ski boot. So what was happening, all the blood was going into my ski boot. And they dumped it like this and completely dumped it out. So they didn't tourniquet me there, and there was a snowstorm going on. They called the ambulance. What happened was that no one knew this, but it severed nerves, but also severed a vein. Sure. But anyhow, I got to Johnstown, and a nurse started to clean it. And it just started squirting. I mean, not to be graphic, but totally squirting him in the face. Yeah. And he's like, holy shit. And they realized, like, holy crap, there's a vein in here. It's been severed too in half. Yeah. And it was just spraying blood. And so they call in this doctor, and of course their only thing, now I already have nerve damage, but they don't care about the nerves. Their number one goal, which I agree to, stop this. But I had no painkiller or nothing in any way, shape, or form. I'm holding on the side of the bed. They go in to stop this blood. Yeah. Honestly, I swear to God, she can't do it. It's a lady. Calls in another person above her, which was a guy. He come in, couldn't do it. They had to call. It was a third doctor. He was like the top dog. Yeah. This is an hour later. Them working inside this leg, just the jolts. I can't even describe.
Like electricity.
It was insane. Like there was electrical shit coming out of my ears, my eyes, my teeth, my hands, and I stayed conscious through the whole thing. Now they did start shooting Novocaine right into there. Sure. This third doctor gets it tied off. He said, I never forget, he walked in, he said, we ain't losing your leg today. I just remember him saying that, and he goes, and I said, please just, and I'm holding on to the side of the bed. Brady's watching this whole freaking thing, and sorry about the language, but anyhow. You're good. Yeah, so he gets it. He ends up getting it, and I'll never forget, too, he looks at me, and he says, after it was over, I'm just like, I don't know how I didn't lose consciousness. I came really close, and I'm holding on to the bed, and I remember looking down at him. He's he's on this chair, like, and he looks and he goes, man, you just had a Civil War moment. This is what Brady had. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, like Civil War, you know? He's like, dude, you were just shot, rush you in here, the bullet's in your leg, we got to get it out. We dig it out, bite down a piece of leather and drink some whiskey.
Yeah, that's
I remember going, where in the fuck was the whiskey? But I quit drinking at that point, so I couldn't have the whiskey anyhow, because I'm sober now. But anyhow. Yeah. So that's what happened. I got out of there that night. It saved my leg, got saved, but I had massive nerve damage done that still affects me to this day. Okay. And then that started a process of a year and a half, leading even up into now, where I had to go through a lot of massive change in my life and find a bunch of different things, and then get a surgery, which I'll let you go because I think it's coming.
Yeah, we'll get into this. I wanted to ask this later, but let's get to it now. How do you actually feel today, though?
I'm not perfect today. I'll be honest. I still have it's way more controllable today. So I still have this leg. I walked a certain way for 52 years of my life, and it threw my gait off.
Okay.
And I'll tell that in the story in a minute here when the question comes up about what I caught. I had to have a surgery then to try to fix it. It was botched. Anyhow, I still have times to this day where I'm very, I kick, the PTSD kicks in.
You're just scared, nervous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So after the diagnosis, what blood clots was the
So I went in for surgery, UOC down in Holliesburg or Altoona, I guess, because to try to save this nerve. And it didn't work. I mean, I'm not going to say the doctor's name, but he did try really hard.
Sure.
He come out, he was sweating. He admitted, he said, I thought it was not as bad as I was going to be. And he said, I couldn't fix it. And so, but what happened was he got a couple little pieces he's able to attach.
Sure.
And he put this brace on me, and he said, you can't move this leg because the little bit he did fix, it'll tear that nerve.
Yeah.
So being over cautious, I know this is probably what happened. I should have got up, and even though I couldn't move that leg, moved out of bed. Yeah. But then I end up feeling this new weird pain, and it prompted me to go see my doctor and say, can we get this checked out? Something else seems like it's going on to me. And I'm glad I did that, because they went and they were like not going to do it, blowing me off. And they were like, you know what? All right, go ahead. If you think something's going on. And they sent me to Altoona Hospital to get a Doppler of my leg.
Doppler.
And, okay. Yeah. And that turned into its own crazy thing too. But go ahead.
Did you realize how serious blood clots were?
I knew a little bit but not as much as I know now. Absolutely not. Just from being a corrections officer and some dudes that had them, I realized that I knew, but I didn't really know.
Yeah, you didn't really know. So like a blood clot, you can get one in your lungs, you get one in your brain, you can get one anywhere. And it happens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's
usually.
Quick. So you were basically living with uncertainty, and you're probably hypervigilant. Like how long did that go on? Still to today?
Yeah. So yeah, like I literally was just at the ER 2 days ago because my gate's off and it blew my knee. I went hiking a little bit and it blew my knee up.
Okay.
And I thought, oh my gosh. And usually a blood clot in your leg will have pain behind here.
Okay.
And I thought, holy shit, here we go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that tripped me out. But to say this, just to set this up, I went and got that Doppler.
Yeah.
And I realized when I got in that the doctor that had to do this, they had to call me in like late for this.
Yeah.
And I could tell he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It was this dude and he didn't want to do it. I could feel the vibe in him, right?
Yeah.
And so he did this really quickly. And as soon as he hit the vein, I realized later, because I had ended up having like 4 different Dopplers. Like at that time, I thought that's just what you do. I'd never had one done before.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, and he goes, he stops and I go, what's going on? He goes into a different room. He goes, I'll be back. He comes back out and he goes, you got a blood clot. And I was like, oh, okay. My dad took me down. He's waiting outside. And I said, well, what goes on? He goes, I don't know. They're going to call you. Go outside and wait. Usually you go down the ER and they shoot this blood thinner into your stomach. I'm like, what? And he's like, so I go out and I wait. I bet you an hour outside of this room. And this doctor finally calls me and says to me, hey man, we looked at your result. I'm a doctor that had to look at your Doppler, and it's nothing. It's going to hurt you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's just this little tiny blood clot in this. It's not a DVT. It's not in this deep vein.
Deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah. He said, just take some aspirin. You're going to be totally fine. I decompressed completely, right?
Sure.
Go home, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
Man, I went home, and I'm telling you, like a week later, not even a week later, like 4 days later, I went to my family doctor, and I said, and luckily she says to me, something just seems off to me too again, and orders another Doppler.
But betrayal of trust by a medical professional is a lot of the reason people have medical PTSD. Did you feel that? Did you feel like they were taking you seriously? Did you feel like you were...
Dude.
No?
No, you know who gave me more information than everybody? I even been to Cleveland Clinic.
ChatGPT.
No.
Oh.
Yes. Actually, I take that back. ChatGPT has recently.
Yeah.
You know who gave me the best, most greatest advice, and more than any doctor through this whole process?
Who's that?
Was the second time that I was just telling you, and I went into... My phone's still ringing. Sorry. I went in to get the second Doppler.
Yeah.
It was the nurse. The nurse, she goes down my leg and does this. She's only meant to do that.
Yeah.
And she literally does. I realized then, oh my God, she was supposed to scan up in my crotch area, down all kinds of places. She's the one that finds that, dude, this is no little, and this is a clot from the bottom of your ankle to the top of your knee.
Jesus.
And she was like really so upset that they did not see. She's like, how did they ever? I said, you're telling, now I go from decompressed to
back to the hypervigilant.
Yeah. What do I got to do? And she said, well, it's crazy. It's been a week. Usually you go right down to the emergency room in Altoona,
sure,
and get a shot in your stomach. That girl told me, so I just started asking her questions, and questions she wasn't supposed to answer. For me, she totally did.
Yeah, and that's the nurses that we need in our lives.
Literally gave me more information through the whole process than anybody to this day. Was her.
Good.
Yeah, was her. Yep.
Good. I want to talk to you about your coaching a little bit.
Yeah.
So tell us about your coaching. Tell us about your life and your message to everybody.
So there's two parts to that. One is I was a motocross racing coach. I still do that on the side. I don't do it as much as I used to. I own a facility called the Motocross Training Academy online, and it's called, my motocross track's called Dirt Soldiers Moto Training Academy. I started doing that back. I was a pro racer, just a local A-rider just here in District 5. Had a kid come to me back in like 2001 or whatever it was. Realized like, holy heck, I coached him. I can do that. He was blown away. I did pretty good. I started to build this system of coaching. Yeah. Called the 8 Fundamentals of Moto Flow. Ended up being able to travel the world.
You just came back from a trip.
Yeah, a guy hired me, an engineer from Oregon, to go out and coach him in Oregon.
Good for you.
Yeah, man, it was sick.
That's exciting stuff. Your message is feel the flow, lose the friction.
So my new thing is, and it's tied in with moto, is more flow, less friction.
More flow, less friction.
So that coaching I have just done is just been an online thing through Reels and helping people find, through this whole experience and everything, and what I've learned in the lessons in the book that I have been writing myself in my life, is to how to tap more into your flow and get rid of some of the friction.
Awesome.
Right. And so I literally, honestly, just started a book on this, and plug here a little bit, but
please. That's what this is about.
I'm actually have it, pre-orders. You can buy this book. I'm starting this book, and it's basically about this journey and what I've learned and how I've learned to overcome these PTSD through movement, through medicine, through natural medicine, how I cleared this blood clot out of my leg through grounding, through taking my own blood thinners, and how the medical field's making us sick. Seriously, and these doctors that give us unbelievable medicine. I had to take Eliquis for almost a year, a blood thinner that fucking destroyed my stomach.
Yeah.
The doctor at Cleveland Clinic literally tells me at the end of it, dude, you needed it to save you, but it's a poison.
Yeah.
He tells me that. It was a poison. I didn't want to tell you that at the beginning. And it messed up a lot of shit in your body. You know what I mean? Now, I needed it. Like, I'm not saying you just jump right to turmeric and ginger and grapeseed oil and the things that thin your blood, because this was a medical emergency that needed taken care of right there.
Sure.
But you can prevent things. Now that I take a concoction every morning 3 times a day, that is a natural blood thinner. You're right. I'm skiing's about to come. If I go skiing and wreck again, the likelihood of that happening is now going to be a lot less.
Yeah.
More flow, less friction.
More flow, less friction. And so living with the uncertainty, like what goes through your head, like on a average day? Does it just hit you like while you're sitting at your desk? Does it hit you while you're driving down the road? Like you just be driving, nothing happens, all of a sudden you get a pain in your leg and like, shit, I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, there's different triggers. Definitely one of them is being at my house. Like if I'm out and I'm moving, I'm in nature, it's way better. That nature just speaks to me. I love it. But there's certain things, pains for sure. So I have a drop foot now, right? Yeah. And I have to wear this brace to walk.
Yeah, drop foot means?
So my foot I never realized this until it happened to me. When you walk, you put your heel first, and these little toes of yours feel every little thing that's going on so quickly. Yeah. Our body, the human body is amazing.
It is.
It's freaking amazing, dude. And so my foot now just won't lift I cannot, to lift it like this. If this desk wasn't here, I'd show. But anyhow, you can lift your foot. If you lift your feet, I can't lift this one. Okay. It just stays dropped down. So this brace pulls it up. So when I'm walking, it's always up. Because if I walk and just this carpet, just that little bit of carpet will catch and I'll go to trip. Yeah. I can't lift my foot up.
Does that mess with your hips and the rest of your body?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because a pebble in the shoe fucks with the rest of your body.
Correct.
The whole way
and so what happened was with this blood clot, it threw off my gait, which was 50 years of walking a certain way.
Oh yeah, that's what your body knows.
And now all of a sudden, they tell me with this blood clot, hey, you feel anything in your lungs, you can't breathe, you get pain in your back, pain in your head, you get a headache, you got to get to the emergency room.
Yeah.
So now here I am, 50 years walking a certain way.
Yeah.
I have this surgery done. I'm laying in bed, like, oh my God, what is that pain in my back? I'm telling you, I must have been in the emergency room 20 times.
Really?
And they were like, when I come in, they were like, listen, you're glad you came. And then you get all these dye shot in you to check your liver. I'm sorry, to check your back and your lungs. No, because they're like, this probably looks like a blood clot. I mean, I had one doctor say, there's a good chance, like, I don't want to scare you, but I want you to be prepared. You're probably, when I come back with a scan, it's probably going to be I had pain, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. Do you think it was your just mind playing tricks on you? Do you think it was other pains that you possibly had that were completely unrelated?
I think it was a mix of both. I think what happened in the beginning, it was just me with a new gait, and my body wasn't used to it, and it threw off my gait. Weird pains.
Yeah.
My muscles were working different.
Yeah.
And then it did become an anxiety thing.
Yeah.
That intensified it tremendously. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing that. I have a ghostwriter for it, but I found an awesome person that understands my whole message. It took me a while to dig deep to find this person. Yeah, because I wanted to. I don't want just written. Like I have a thing for I want to convey the me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't want. And I don't care if they use ChatGPT, but I train ChatGPT in me.
Me too.
Yeah,
yeah. I train it to populate what I want it to.
Yeah.
To a degree. That's what I did with this. I went into it and told it all the things I knew about you, and then said, "Give me these questions." Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah. Are we recording there?
We are right now.
Okay.
But she'll just splice together whenever you're ready.
I seen it shut off. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's talk about fitness. We're a gym podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that what I want to do is find ways to open people up so you can help them out. One time my boss handed me a Pepsi bottle and he said, like, cause in sales, you want to close customers. He's like, close this bottle. And the lid was on it.
Yeah.
So I took the bottle and I was like, the lid's on it. And he's like, he opens it up and he said, sometimes you can't close people until you open them up a little bit.
That's
good. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. So what I want to do is open people up in order to help them out. So,
100%.
Yeah, someone told me recently art therapy, draw, make things, craft, all that stuff. Open up and then you can teach them. So with you, essentially what you're doing is opening people up through motocross and then...
More flow, less friction,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, just want to see what role does that take place in your overall message, like the riding, the whatever.
Oh man, it plays a huge role, even in both of my things, more flow, less friction, and riding, because one of the main things in motocross is, if you don't know motocross, but the people that know motocross that are watching this right now, it's the most. A lot of people some people that don't know will think, well, that's easy. It has a motor, you just ride. It's the most physically demanding sport in the world. So it starts with your fitness.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Hugely, huge. And what I've learned through this whole journey here, and I've always been, I race motocross, so I always had to be fit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I learned through this journey is, if you want to remove friction from your life and you want to tap into the flow, there's foundations to motocross, and they are these fundamentals. The fundamentals to life, if you want to get away from this, I can get down all kinds of rabbit holes here, but basically, we are being poisoned in this society through our foods, and you can't buy anything from Walmart. It's junk. It's garbage.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's making us inflamed, and it's killing our hearts, and it's killing everything in our bodies.
Yes.
Like the food industry is. We could do another whole podcast on that.
On the food industry.
But if you do not start taking changes that's the foundation. So you can go hit the gym, you can meditate, you can hit cold plunges, thought therapies. That'll all help you. But if you foundationally do not change what you're eating, you're going to slip back into your friction and it's in your inflammation and your stuff and it's going to pull you right back. Yeah. You have to change that part first. Yeah. Whether that's just standing up and getting up, walking outside, and movement. Movement to me is medicine, right? Yeah. Getting your feet on the ground, grounding, starting small increments of changing what you're eating. You can find the information out there. It's out there. This is another thing I'm putting in my book. This is actually the first chapter and second chapter of my book because it's so important. If you don't fix that, you can get to chapter 8, be feeling great, and slip right back because you're going and eating all this shit. Yeah. And sometimes you don't even realize you're eating this shit because it's sold to you in a way that it looks like I might actually be doing good.
Yeah, because you look at a healthy choice meal. The name is healthy choice, but then you get it home and it has 27 ingredients in it, and you eat it and you're
processed bullshit.
But yeah, and then your liver is going to be preserved for 30 years with the amount of preservatives that are in something like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and we get told it's healthy.
Yep.
Now, I think you're a very empathetic person. I can just tell, like, you get it. Like you understand people. This process has probably made you a lot more empathetic towards others, I would say.
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah. And how's that take a role in your coaching?
So it takes how it has helped me in my coaching is it's allowed me to see things that I looked past before, right?
Okay.
And sometimes I'm a Taurus, and sometimes I'm known to be we're bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sometimes we think our reason we think it's right, and we're known to like want to break people down, build them up not because it's a bad thing.
I live with a Taurus
because we think like if you learn this, you're going to be a better person. Blah, 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 blah. But we sometimes you have to realize like, hey, this is they have their way and their system, and you have to learn to conjoin. And so my coaching sometimes used to be, hey, blah, 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 you got to, and this is how we're going to do it. And I realized, hey, man, like, this is maybe not the way. You got to be more empathetic and see their way and then tie that coaching into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Tell me about your history. When did you start riding?
Oh, I started riding. My dad put me on a bike back when I was probably like 6 years old.
Okay.
And I used to just rip around my grandmother's house. So I've been riding that whole time. And I met a guy from California who flew in. His name was Dave. I have the story. It's on the internet, different places. Yeah. But he was the first guy to get me into motocross. He said he moved here from California. Yeah. He raced. He got a job here and moved in right beside me. And he was like he seen that I had a dirt bike, and he come over, and he was like 7 years older than me. Yeah. And he said, dude, I'm looking for people to ride with. You want to go? You ever hear of motocross? I'm like, no, what the hell's that? And he's like, dude, let's go.
How old were you?
At that time I was probably like 12.
12. So that's when you first got into motocross, is when you were 12. Yeah. When you sat on a bike, did you just know?
I just instantly knew.
Instantly knew.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, that's what's awesome.
Dude, it's been my life. It's that talk about more flow, less friction. It's been the flow of my life, and it's helped me through so much shit. It's been insane.
Yeah. I actually genuinely enjoy my job. I spent 15 years in the car business, and it's painful, but it was what it was. You bought and sold stuff. Now I'm buying and selling dirt bikes and side by sides and street cycles, and I'm selling people their hobby. Mm-hmm. And dude, it's a refreshing feeling. It's just a nice feeling to be able to deal with people that are happy. And these people like these bikes more than they like their wives. They like them more than they like their husbands. Some of them like them more than they like their kids.
It's so true. Even though that's bad.
Yeah, I know. Bad, well, yeah, but
I have a saying, and it's if you've been bitten by the motocross bug, and that does apply to even riding quad or side by side. Yeah. If you get bitten by that bug, and you really get bitten by it, it's lifelong, and it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stephen King said, "Give me them while they're young, and they'll be mine forever." Right, exactly. And that's kind of what it is. Yeah, I genuinely enjoy just helping people out with their hobbies, just making them happy. It's just much more fun, and I think there's a sense of freedom that comes with motorcycles, and because you get kicked around, maybe dad's abusive, maybe mom's an alcoholic, maybe whatever. But when you're 9 years old, 15 years old, 25 years old, and you can get on that bike and just ride, it's just a sense of freedom.
Dude, you just hit what I was about to say.
Yeah,
I wanted to say this because this is so you just nailed it. First of all, it's fun.
Yes.
Like it's fun. Like, yes. So it makes you live in the moment. People don't realize this. It actually takes in this society where we're in, and it's always worrying about the future, worrying about the past. Why this? When you jump on a bike and you put your leg over and you ride, you have to be in that moment right there. And it's always changing.
Yes.
Just like life should be, you have to live in the moment right now. I'm riding up this hill. It's right now at that moment. You get to the top. It's the next decision. You think it's a little bit of the future, but not much, which is the way you should live your life anyhow, not look at the past.
Sure.
And so it literally is meditative to me. It's very meditative.
It's cathartic.
And people don't realize that while they're doing it, but they get off and go, that was the freaking awesomest feeling ever.
Yes.
And they don't realize you just basically meditated on a bike because you lived in the moment for right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But my balls get busted because I live in the high school quarterback realm. You know what I mean? And that's because I was when I was a kid. But I like to relate things back to that because when you were on the field, the same thing. You couldn't worry about the girl that was at home with you. You couldn't worry about your math. You couldn't worry about paying, like, related to this. Can't worry about paying your mortgage and shit like that. You have to stay absolutely in the moment because someone's going to try to hit you. Someone's going to try to take your legs out. So you have to be in the moment. I know, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you're nervous before a game and you're nervous and all that. And all of a sudden you get smacked in the face and it's like, I have to pay attention. I have to. Yes. And I think when you're at the gym, it's the same way. You're throwing around heavy things. You have to pay attention. You have to be in the moment because it's literally a life or death situation if you fuck up,
Correct.
So you have to be in the moment. Yeah. And like you said, the meditativeness, and it puts you one with yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
I will say this
please do.
Because I love my moto. And I say this in my coaching to a lot of students. And I compare it sometimes to football, basketball, in which you're absolutely right with that.
Sure.
But the one thing I do love about moto is this. In football, you could come in with a little bit of a bad mind that day because your girlfriend hurt your feelings or you got drunk the night before. Don't do that, everybody.
Yeah, right.
You're feeling off.
It happens.
Your team can pull up the slack a little bit for you. In moto, once you swing a leg over that bike and you head onto a track, it's just you and your machine. And it makes you, it pulls out in you. Are you a little down mentally because you got to fight with your, like I have a lot of students come in and I can tell something's up and I say to them, what's going on? Well, me and my girlfriend got in a fight.
Love is a motherfucker. It's the strongest drug.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And it pulls that out because when you get out on that track, there's no one to pull the slack up for you. Yeah. I can help while we're talking like this before you go to the track.
Sure.
But when you get on that track, and plus this is a dangerous sport.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When you get on that track, you're on basically a bucking bronco.
Yeah.
You want to find the flow in that, but if you're mentally discombobulated, that's going to come out like crazy because there's no teammates to pull up the slack.
Yeah, I like that. As far as all the things you've done, there's no one thing that fixes anything. It doesn't matter whether you're an addict or anything. These are all just tools in the belt. Yeah. So tell me about your belt a little bit. What's helped you the most?
Well, okay. So I will say this. This is number one, and I had to say this, and this has taken me a little bit. Yeah. Even coming from the background I came from, which was, anyhow, I'll say the number one thing was I had to get closer to God in my personal.
I'm there right now. I've been doing Bible study recently. Yeah. I've gone a couple months now, and that's my Thursday mornings. Yeah. I've been doing Bible study with men, grown men, and there's 25 to 70 years old. There's 30 guys in the room, and they're all guys from the community. And I like to listen to them talk, and I like to hear their struggles. And a lot of these men are very successful. And I'm sitting in the room with imposter syndrome, thinking, "What the fuck am I doing here?" But it's here to hear their message and how God's helped them. That's something I'm working on, man.
Yeah, me too, man. And I'm telling you, I realize it wasn't slowly, but it was. And it slowly started to really be like, holy shit, this is probably the number one thing. Because when this medical stuff kicks in, this PTSD, it is the thing that I can go to and it does calm me down. Yeah. It doesn't always perfectly work. Yeah. But, it is. Yeah, so that's the number one thing in my tool belt.
It's God right now. Yeah, that's good. I feel like sometimes my issue with my relationship with God is I struggle. When I ask Him for help, I think I don't deserve help because I only come to Him when I'm asking for help.
I get that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm the same way. Here's a new thing I just learned. Yeah. Because I'm not the best at praying either. And this is kind of crazy because my mom was a nun.
Okay.
She was an ordained nun. Yes. Yeah. My dad went to Vietnam. Long story short, they're still married, still together. He snuck into the convent and I was conceived. I swear to God, that's a true story.
Good for you.
You can print that.
Glad to hear.
They thought he died in Vietnam. Straight up. She left the convent. She became a teacher at the school that she was a nun at. And so I was an altar boy.
Okay.
The thing I've learned, I do want to say this, in prayer, same way, I'm not sure how to pray, I'm not sure how to do all that, but I did find this more recently, and I've been trying it, and it works really awesome. And that is what I've learned by reading, through the Bible is that you command your healing. Command it. You don't have to ask God, please beg. You do not have to. And I was guilty of that, doing that a lot.
Sure.
You can command. You can say, God, I command this pain out of my body right now. I pray then command that this body's pain's taken. You can command that stuff. And that's been a big shift for me.
Okay.
And now when I pray with command.
Okay.
I'm not perfect at it. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? But but I'm just newly into that, so I'm delving deeper into that.
Okay.
Commanding the healings, the things out of my body.
Yeah. One thing that the Bible says too is if you're doing nice things for other people for the recognition of doing nice things, you're never going to get your reward.
Correct.
That scares me because my anxiety in me, I don't do things for other people because it makes me feel good. I do things for other people because I want them to feel better. But I feel like when you post stuff on Facebook, like, look what I did. But when we're operating the nonprofit and like Rotary, Jenna, we're in Rotary, I like to promote what we're doing because people donate money to us. And I want them to see like, hey, you're actually doing something with money. I don't like to throw that stuff online to brag about myself, but it puts me in this weird position with God where I'm like,
that's funny. I just watched a YouTube video.
Did you? Am I making sense? Yeah.
Dude, I just watched a YouTube video.
All right.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
And base something to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I've found that I enjoy doing is when I am out doing those things for kind people, instead of saying I'm doing this I celebrate the people around me. So if I'm with you and we're doing something kind, I say, look at Justin. Look what Justin's doing. And I make it look fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just celebrate the people around you, and then you're serving even more. You're not just serving.
Yeah.
You're serving the people you're serving.
Yeah. I've noticed sometimes when I do nice things for people, instead of making me feel better, it makes me feel worse because because if you're helping someone,
you're overthinking it.
Well, I know.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you ever do therapy? Do you do like cognitive behavioral? Do you do EMDR?
The one thing I never did was any therapy. I probably should have. I still think I should maybe kind of go do that sometime.
Yeah.
But I never have. I did start going to, just to put it out there and hopefully it'll help. More recently, within like the last 6 months, her name's Alex, and I'll plug her because she's freaking awesome. Alex Healing. She's amazing. And I started to go to her, and I just went to her for sound. She does sound therapy with bowls and stuff.
Like EMDR?
I guess that's what it'd be called. I'm not even sure.
Sound therapy is different. It's frequencies.
It's frequency therapy.
Correct.
Okay.
And what's been awesome about it, she sits and talks to me for like maybe like half an hour before we actually lay down and do it.
Yes.
And I realized that like this is therapy, and she's helped me tremendously. But this sound has really done really good things for me. This sound therapy. Again, people sometimes will think woo-woo, but
you know what? Don't do that. Don't dismiss yourself like that, because I do it all the fucking time. I'm always like, I always try to get people to follow this one person on YouTube. It's Yoga with Adrian. She's how I do yoga.
Yeah.
And I always preface it with, she's not one of those one with the earth type people.
Yeah.
Be a one with the earth.
Yeah, I agree.
Be who you want. Yeah. Woo woo. Actually, that's good for you.
People are waking up to this, and I'm glad they are.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Like people need to wake up to this because we are being poisoned. There's just no doubt about it. With tons of friction through all kinds of social media, food, all kinds of stuff, and people are slowly starting to wake up to this.
Yes.
And that's good, because the only way to change anything is to be aware of it first.
Yes.
If you're aware of it, like some people watch this podcast and they'll have breakthroughs in awareness.
Yeah.
Now, what they can do is they can either, this is part of my coaching, so I'm going off a
Please
little bit.
do.
They can take that awareness and let it die right there.
Yeah.
But your best thing is to take one step with that awareness towards the new thing.
Yeah.
And whatever that is, eating better, getting less, bringing my dopamine hits down.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grounding, cold plunges, sound therapy. You take one step towards that. Make the call.
Yes.
Just even look it up online.
You're
starting the snowball effect and the momentum to change out of the friction loops that you were caught in.
Yes.
And to break them loops, right?
Absolutely. That comfort zone of yours gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you gotta open it up and open it up and open it up, and you have to move forward with attrition. Yeah. You have to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Tibetan singing bowls is one of the things they use in the sound therapy.
Yeah, I think she uses that.
Crystals, tuning forks, tuning forks.
She uses tuning forks, hits them, and then she'll put them like on different parts of your body, where like my nerves, and it just crazy cool how it vibrates through there. Yeah.
Yeah. That I think a lot of vibration and the heartbeat and rhythm and that sort of stuff. Those are all things that we could explore someday too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. so guided meditations, like music therapy. Do you ever do massage therapy? Like I feel like that.
I have. I've just started that more recently too.
Yeah.
And that's been really awesome and beneficial towards me.
Yeah.
For me, I'll tell you another big one I've started. Red light therapy. You can get red light therapy. All this stuff you can go pay for. Yeah. But if you literally just get outside in the morning, the sun's the best red light therapy you can get. Now it's better in the morning, right? The very early, as soon as it rises.
Okay.
Okay. That's a better red light therapy. I tried to do that. Now take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Dude, you're getting red light therapy and your shoes off.
And you're grounding all at the same time.
You can actually create stem cells within your body too. People go spend all this money on stem cells.
Yeah.
And there's two things you can do. Actually, real cocoa creates stems. Real cocoa. Now you're gonna go to the store and you're gonna look at cocoa and think it's real cocoa. If it comes with anything before sugar and it's not 100% cocoa
beans. If the first ingredient isn't cocoa, it's not real cocoa.
It's not real cocoa.
Okay.
Right? And so it's not going to do anything good for you. You can get it. You can actually get this at Walmart in that little tiny healthy section they have. There's one that's 100% cocoa.
Isn't it funny that's the smallest section in the store?
Smallest section in the store.
Health food is. Yeah.
And it literally creates stem cells in your body. There's another way to do it too, and I've been dabbling into this more recently. And it's proven too by science. I like stuff that's proven. If you breathe, and you breathe deep, and then you let it out. So most people will tell you to breathe deep all the time. Breathe deep, let it out either through the nose or the mouth. Let it out longer. That's more stress reducing. But when you let all the breath out of you,
breathe it out.
So when you breathe it out and you get down and breath's completely out of you, hold it and try count. You at the minimum at least try to get 30 seconds. So don't hold your breath like going like this. It's then hold it. Count 1001 and you can get up to 30 seconds. It actually generates stem cells throughout your body.
Does it really?
I'm straight up. And I'm telling you, I've learned this not that long ago. And as long, like I said, with the grounding and it healed my foot, I am starting, swear to God, getting a little bit of movement by doing this every day, this stem cell breathing technique. And I can feel where I can move my foot just a little bit.
Just a little tiny bit now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I've been working on that every day.
Yeah. I notice when I talk to customers, and I'm much better at this than I used to be, but I focus on my exhale a lot, and I'll try to stand up as straight as possible.
No.
Stay out there. And I try to stand up as straight as possible, and I try to keep my feet as flat on the ground as possible. Because, like, I don't know. But concentrating on the exhale, like, gives me something to do, and it calms that anxiety a little bit. Because, like, do you have anxiety? Just traditional anxiety, just the good old stuff?
I thought I didn't for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I really do. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really hard when you're with customers or when you're with anybody because you're talking, you're trying to hear what they say, you're trying to think about what you're going to say back. You calm down. And the whole time you're fighting this anxiety. It's like fighting with a dog. Like, this is a perfect example of it. It's like you're fighting with this dog while you're trying to think and we're trying to talk. And it's tough. And I think concentrating on your breath sometimes helps me do that sort of stuff too.
Yeah.
What about moving forward? What's your biggest message to other people? Let's go back to the medical PTSD.
Yeah.
What's your biggest message to people that would have medical PTSD?
Man, great question. My biggest message would be, definitely look into finding ways that, or like we're talking here, that would be grounding, breath work, meditation. Find your flow. Find the thing that excites you, that fires your heart up, because it's still in there.
Yeah.
We all have them things that we had as kids, and it can be as simple as, like, a mathematician likes math, but maybe he's not doing math so much anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe just doing math helps him. I know it's a crazy example.
Sure, but yeah.
But just find that's the flow. And it still lives within you. It's there always. You can always tap into it. It resides in your body. But a lot of it has been chained down and brought in, boxed up with this friction. But if you get quiet, you get still, and you breathe, and you get your shoes off and get outside and ground, and you get outside, you'll start to see, that's what it'll come back to you. And just pursue that. Go after that in just tiny little increments, because what it opens up inside of you will be amazing, right?
Yeah.
It'll be amazing. And that's the steps that helped me when I was going through, and I'm still doing to this day. I'm not cured. I'm still doing a lot of healing through this, right?
Yeah. I think that's one thing too, is people think if they do all of this stuff, you're magically cured.
Yeah.
And you're never cured.
Yeah. I will say this really quick before we talk about that.
Yeah.
Also, I want to just throw this in there, movement. Get out and move. This is a gym podcast.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm telling you, just walk outside and start to move. Like walk. If it's 10 steps and then back to your house. Movement is medicine.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And without movement, you're dying. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think walking is the easiest thing you can possibly
Start.
do. Too. I try to take her for a walk in the mornings, and I went from like 245, 250 down to 210, 215.
Yeah.
And most of it was just walking and staying active. I do like 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
And just getting the blood flow.
You know what I just started doing?
What's that?
When I went out to Oregon, I didn't realize this guy that hired me to coach him for a month as a motocross racing. He's 53 years old.
Yeah.
He's he went to India and studied yoga. So every morning said, you want to do yoga?
Yeah.
And he just run me through 2 pieces of yoga. It was called A and B. I can share it in this podcast and the links or whatever. It's
please.
and honestly, when I went out there, I was 210 pounds. I was eating a little bit, going a little crazy,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And he showed me these 2, and of course, the grounding and everything else, but I started these 2, it's called the A and B sequence. That's all I've been doing every morning, and it's literally movement, changed my life. I'm down to 195, completely lost how many pounds that is, 20 or so pounds, 15 pounds, and it's made my body completely feel insanely better.
That and a big thing with with guys too is get those hips moving, some flexibility in there. It helps with like testosterone and things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, things we actually start to lack.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we have problems with, we can fix naturally without meds.
Yes,
and
testosterone.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Testosterone.
Grounding throws your testosterone through
Does
the roof.
it?
Oh my God, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Your testosterone with grounding will go through the roof. And it's a proven fact that men these days, my buddy went into the doctor yesterday. He was telling me about it. Kelly, his name's Kelly. He's 52 years old. He noticed he was a little bit weak and he wasn't doing that good. So he thought, I'm going to go to the doctor and get my testosterone checked.
Yeah.
When he walked in, the doctor said, all right, we'll test it, no problem. Took the test, and here's what he said to him. He tells me this because he knows I love this kind of stuff and grounding.
Yeah.
And he says to me, I'm going to promise you when we get these results back, your testosterone at 52 years old, I guarantee you still, even though it dropped way down, it's still higher than most 20-year-old males this
Just
day.
by doing that.
He said, I promise you, I've seen it every day. And he was like, what?
Yeah.
And Kelly said, his name's Kelly. And he said, and to the doctor, he said, what? And he said, yeah, I'm serious. He said, testosterone is, in the males these days, has plummeted. It's plummeted. It's insane. And that comes from another thing, and it could go down the whole rabbit hole there, from plastics. Microplastics are insane. Yeah. They're finding it in our hearts.
Where do we get the most microplastics from? Do you know?
From plastic. You drink out of plastic bottles.
Really?
If you microwave shit in the microwave,
yeah,
terrible. You know where else people don't realize?
What?
When you wash your dishes and you use one of them packets of that plastic,
oh,
it blows
that stuff
plastic
gets all
apart.
around.
Yeah, and you're drinking the plastic.
Yeah.
I've switched to just glass jars, and I'm not perfect at this. You can test water. You can find water. Like, there is good water out there that's in glass jars that you can get, but it's expensive, so it's not that easy. But you can go to these natural springs, fill up glass jugs.
Yeah.
You can get glass jugs. Now you have to bring it back and boil it, and it's a process.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do. But
I get spring water up the road and put it in a 5-gallon container and give.
But it's a plastic 5-gallon container.
That's what I was just thinking.
You just lose the battle.
Son of a bitch! I don't know why you had to do that to me.
And if you're gonna
having such a good time,
if you're sorry
Yeah.
to disappoint you. If you're gonna use plastic though, look for BPA free.
Yeah. All right. I do want to touch on some of your addiction stuff here before we get going. How long have you been sober?
I've been sober I don't count the days. That's something I do different than other people. I don't count the days because to me, as long as I'm sober today, that's all I care about.
That's all that matters. I know mine is May 2nd of 21.
I think mine's about 5 years now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The only reason I know mine's
September.
May 2nd, and I don't even think it's actually the 2nd, I had an aunt that passed away. My mom said that was her birthday, and that was the same weekend that my family came into my house and said, "You're a fuck up. Let's get you fixed."
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. So sober for how
around.
long?
It's been in September, and it's probably about. I think it's 5. I think this September was 5 years.
5 years. Good for you.
4 or 5 years.
We're about the same pace then. Did you have a certain drug of choice? Was it alcohol? Was it?
It started with painkillers because I raced motocross and I went down a road of painkillers. They were just prescribed to me, that old story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I take these. And I remember having them when I was a little kid because I broke this leg when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Got painkillers, and I remember, 14, like, wow, these things make you feel pretty good.
Yeah.
But you get off and you forget about
Yeah.
it. And as, and I broke so many, my collarbones and my shoulders and I even broke my neck. Well, you take the painkillers, you feel awesome, and then you get off them, right? But then, once I got older, probably, I don't know what the time frame was.
Sure.
I've been sober 5 years, was before that. I had an injury and I went, and my family doctor said at the time, you should go to a pain clinic because of all the stuff you're having. It's because you raced that motocross. That pain clinic. Oh, here you go, oxycodone 5s.
I never realized that's what pain clinics were for the longest time.
Yeah.
So I never realized they were just street pharmacists.
I mean, he did some shots in my back
Sure.
and stuff like that, but it was basically just just sling me painkillers.
If you're above 40, they used to hand out painkillers like Skittles.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when we were young.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody would have Oxy 80s everywhere.
Yeah.
They're just all the time.
Of course, that spawned down within no time flat.
Yeah.
I'm going through that whole bottle, and
Yeah.
then now and then it's funny, you find the people you need to find. Like I always had this saying that I help people with sometimes in my other more flow less friction coaching is like I would be completely out of pills, dead broke, and somehow don't even have no clue where I was going to find these pills. I'd find them.
Yeah.
Because it's when you focus on something.
Yeah.
This proved to me, boy, if you focus on the right thing, you can have anything you want in life. Because I would find the money somehow, the pill. Now listen, I didn't go, don't take that the wrong way.
No, I know.
I didn't do anything that was
weird.
Anything weird.
Yeah. No, I know.
But go sell stuff at the pawn shop, and you find ways to
make money. My brother said he was sitting in the room and they said about me going to rehab, and I went to rehab. I don't care. I haven't been telling people.
Oh, me too. That's how I finally got.
Yeah.
My last stint, I quit painkillers the first time. I've been on painkillers twice.
Yeah.
Quit them. Got off them on my own, fought that battle on my own.
Yeah.
And then the last stint, I went through a crazy separation, divorce. Long story
That
short,
old chestnut, huh?
that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Where I was cheated on with my best friend for a 3-year period. Didn't know. Whole different story there. Just say that to say that took me down a road of massive alcoholism, drinking bad. And then the drinking one though, I went to rehab for just because I was a corrections officer. I remember the first time I ever seen a dude coming off of heroin. And I remember the nurse, he looked like to me he was going to die. He was off the streets. He was a criminal inmate. He came into jail. And I remember looking at him thinking, and I remember going to the nurse, what are you going to, she's like, he's, and I remember her saying to me, he will never die coming off heroin. He'll look like he's going to die. He's curled up on a ball. Yeah. But he won't die.
Oh, that's true.
Where he will die is when he's on it. And he does that. He won't die coming off it. He'll be okay. Yeah. And I remember thinking, really? He don't look good. But then I remember a guy coming off alcohol, and they were instantly, oh my God, they were like, he will die. He was foaming at the mouth. And so I had drank so much at that point, I thought, maybe I better go to rehab. I knew if I could just get a week in rehab, I'd probably be all right. I just needed to get that break.
Decompress and And I think alcohol is the hardest one to quit because it's 2 a.m, I can just go to Sheetz and get it. I can't call my drug dealer at 2 in the morning and go get pills. You could, but
I was drinking up to 3 bottles of Crown a day at the worst point right before I went in.
Yeah.
I was at a point where you didn't even get, that tiny little buzz you get and it makes you feel good because that's what you chase. I wasn't even getting that anymore. I was just so sick.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, it does suck whenever because pills are a solution until they become a problem, and then once the positive effects, and then you're just trying to take it just to feel normal. And then, and all you try to do is get back to fucking normal, and it's such a hill to climb.
Yeah. And you don't even realize until you actually get that break in rehab that how sick you actually were.
Yeah. And you think that people don't notice you're on drugs?
Yeah.
They fucking know. They fucking know. Yeah, we're idiots.
Yeah.
What else? Closing thoughts? Anything you want to say? Leave with our guests. How do they find you online? Where do they find you?
Go to you can go to my Facebook page, which is John Lanzendorfer. It's nicknamed Scoob. Facebook freaking took my Scoob away from me. It made me so mad and locked my site down. So I had to give him an ID. But more flow, less friction on Facebook. My Facebook page is actually Dirt Soldiers MX. So if you type that in. My email's mxscoob Michael Xylophone X-ray Scoob at gmail.com.
Okay.
You can go to scoobleo.com.
Okay.
I have a bunch. I'm trying to whittle some of this stuff down, but scoobleo.com. May the flow be with you.com.
I like that.
Mayflowbewithyou.com. I do have some shirts. So the other thing I believe in more flow, less frictions, partly is about finding your passion.
Yeah.
When I said all the stuff I said earlier in this, I believe that everyone should live their passion.
Yeah.
And I believe we all have. I believe in what I found through God is we are all creators. God, the first thing that God did, and then I'm with you. Like sometimes I'm like, the God this and them. But if you look at anything, God was the Almighty everything, right? Yes. He didn't have to do anything. He could just existed. But the first thing he decided to do was create. and he said, "Let there be light," and he created the world, the universes. He's a creator, and the first thing he did was said that we are in his likeness. So we are all creators. This is why we get fired up when we do podcasts, when we art, when we're speaking, when we're whatever it is. And that all lives within all of us, I guarantee it. Even left brain people that I've coached that don't seem very creative.
Sure.
They're mathematical kind of people.
The engineers.
And stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? They like a lot of people think that everybody that's creators got to be dreamers. They have to have an imagination. You don't. That's most people right brain hemisphere. But I believe everyone is a creator in the likeness of God, and you got to tap back in. I think the world needs it now more than ever. I think this world needs you to fire your creativeness up, but we have been trapped by these TikTok brains, by these societal things that has locked us in, from food poisoning and all kinds of things, and it's trapped our creativeness. And I one of my goals with More Flow, Less Friction is to just help people break free from that a little bit and find what it is that fires their heart up and pursue the living shit out of that as much as you can.
You said something that I never thought of. God didn't have to do all this.
Yeah, none of it. But he said, you know what, I'm going to create.
Yeah.
He could just exist. He could have just...
He could have just chilled like Thanos and they watched over a grateful universe at the end of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And you're right. He created all of us just because he wanted to. That's pretty cool stuff. I never thought about that. Why didn't I ever think about that before?
Awesome.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, dude, no doubt.
We'll think of another topic. We'll maybe revisit in a few months and do this again.
Yeah.
Think of something else.
Dude, I'd love to talk more about that or even my addiction. I can talk about my addiction.
Yeah, I think
stuff.
for today it was more about introducing you to the public and introducing you that now you're part of us. You have to come back on legally.
Yeah.
You don't know that, but whenever you walk, we're done here for today. So
awesome.
Thank you guys. Appreciate everybody.
Thanks,
yes,
man. I'm glad I got over here.
I am too. I appreciate it. So we'll have to go upstairs and get Brady and tell him it's time to leave. But that's it. Look for our coat drive. We're going to be doing more of these. I have one coming out in a couple weeks, and a young man's going to tell his story. Ryan Wagner's going to be back. He's going to do some stuff with us. I still want to get that veterinarian. I was going to talk to Dr. Yogi. I want to see if he'll come on because I want to tell people how not to treat their veterinarians because people are assholes to vets. So yeah. But that's it.
Shit, I want to be here for all these.
I know.
As you're saying, he's like, can I come over and
yes,
watch? Like seriously,
Ryan,
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Dan Nagel's going to tell us his story of sobriety, but I want to invite Ryan to it because their story's a lot similar. But if you want to come, we get four of us sitting here just chopping it up, talking about how we used to be drug addicts and buying drugs off
I'd love to.
legless guys that shit in buckets.
Hey, let me say this real quick, and maybe you can throw it in, maybe not. I'll keep this really quick. I am also looking. I almost set it up last year. I had some problems with my farming. I have a guy farming my land, but I'm doing a thing that's called a healer's market instead of a farmer's market. I had it all set up last year. I'm going to reshoot for it this year. So if you listen to this and you're interested, reach out to me at my mxscoop@gmail.com, and I'm going to set it up at my property. I have a 70-acre property. I swear this place is a healing property. There's something about it. But I want to do this healer's market. So I need help with this and all different. So in any way, fashion, shape, or form, you feel this sparks something in you, reach out to me because I'm looking for people to help me set it up. I need people that want to do it. And I'm going to do it sometime next summer and just outside in the field. And it's going to be like a farmer's market, but like a healer's market, you know.
Yeah, just so I'm committed on camera, I'm in.
Dude, awesome.
Dude, you saw it. Wow.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Thank you. Love you guys. We'll see you in a week or so. All right. See you.
Peace. Later.